All right, guys, Nelson with Newleey here, and I want to make this video today to talk about skinny deals. So as our group continues to grow, I get a lot of messages about this deal, and this deal that you guys are working, and Lord knows, I wish I could get on the phone and close every single one of them and help you guys out, but the truth is I just can't. But I want to make this to help you understand what you're getting yourself into, guys. So what is a skinny deal? How can we stop wasting our time on it or make the most out of it? That's what we'll go over in this video. So jumping right into it, number one, a skinny deal isn't just a small assignment fee. A skinny deal is something where every part of this deal, every aspect of this deal has to work out perfect to even get it closed. So you got to have the perfect ARV, you got to have the perfect buyer, you got to have the perfect seller, you got to have no title issues, and you got to have the perfect numbers and the repairs and everything, right? And so when a lot of you guys hit me up, you'll tell me things like, hey, this person wants to close in 5 days, or these numbers are really tight, but I think I can make it work. And these are the skinny deals we're talking about, where everything has to be perfect. And it's not to say that skinny deals never close. It's just that as you're getting started, you're going to get opportunities like this left and right, and you're going to get emotionally attached to it because you want to make that first or next $5, $10, $15,000. And guys, you just can't. Okay, skinny deals are going to be something that you just waste time on if you do not go through what makes sense and what doesn't. So let's jump in some of those things. Here is one of the top reasons why skinny deals don't work, and it's because you guys get emotionally attached to each of these deals, thinking, I know I can make this work, or if I can do that, or if I can just do this, it'll all come together. You want proof that this wholesaling thing works. You've got momentum because you've just come off of a course, or you just bought some leads and you just want to, start putting things into there, or you're afraid that you're gonna lose this seller that you just got off the phone with. And so here's something I want you guys to understand. When you go to buy a vehicle, it takes a couple of hours. If everything is going perfect, it's going to take 2 or 3 hours, right? If not, it could take a couple of days, and that's if you come knowing the vehicle you want to leave the floor with or buy, or whatever the case, right? A house is, usually significantly more than a vehicle, right? And houses, even in a perfect scenario, take 30 days to close. So guys, the fact that you think you're going to talk to the seller today and you've got to get everything perfect today and worked out, yeah, we want to do one call closes, and yeah, we want to figure out everything and get things working, but the reality is deals take time, and so does negotiating with people. So you can't get locked up in, I'm going to lose the seller, I've got to do everything right. You got to make sure that you've got the right numbers, the right buyers, the right couple of things on your end, because what you don't want to do is put a property under contract you can't sell, right? Because that could hurt you with this buyer trying to negotiate the price later, or that could just burn you with the buyer in general. Number two, it's going to definitely start to kill your motivation, right? Imagine you're hyped up on wholesaling, you want to get going, you just put this property under contract because the seller said, I want to go today, and you're trying to make this skinny deal work, and then you don't end up closing it. It's going to kill your motivation. And last, it burns up your time. I can't tell you how many times I see you guys working on this deal. It's been 3 weeks. We don't have a contract. We don't have offers. We're barely really even talking to the seller. And a month has gone by almost, and we're working on this one deal. That's because it's a skinny deal. You're trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Guys, you cannot get emotionally attached to these deals. You got to make your offers, present them with the information that you know that works, and then move around. So to help us make sure, we're going to move on to our deal math. Now, I just did a whole video on deal math. If you want to see it, check the channel out. It's called Deal Math. But when you're working this deal and you want to know if it's skinny or whatnot, just do your simple deal math. ARV times 0.75 minus repairs minus your fee. If we're somewhere in the ballpark, then we're working, right? If it's 90% of ARV and it still needs repairs, then that's probably not a wholesale deal. Now, could it be something else? Possibly. Could you hand it to an agent to sell? Possibly. But if that's not what you're familiar with and you know to do, then you present your offer and then you go on to the next one. Or you're going to be spending weeks trying to figure out, well, they want 90% of the value. Where can I find an agent? Now you're going to spend a few weeks trying to find agents, and then you're going to do this. So you have that option. But what I'm saying is, just work what you know. Keep that same game plan that you came in with, is what I'm saying. And if you don't know deal math, check the video out on our page. We go through it and we break it down pretty thoroughly for you. The next thing that I want to go over is, so say we're working this deal. Maybe you did get it under contract and we're trying to work this deal and we're not sure if it's skinny. If you send this deal out to your buyers and you get a bunch of maybes or 1 million questions, or maybe I'll get somebody out there to walk it, next week or whatever. There's no sense of urgency. There's no negotiating like, all right, well, where are you at, what price or anything like that. Or they're just trying to negotiate you to death, right? Like they want this price and then you try and get the price drop and then they walk it and they want another price drop and then they want this time and then so if you're dealing with buyers like this and it's a skinny deal, you need to move around and find new buyers, rerun your numbers, work with somebody that can help you, because you don't want a buyer to negotiate this deal to death and just you get your hopes up, right? You get something under contract for the first time, you talk to your first buyer, and now you're just like trying to make this deal work. If they're not excited about it, find new buyers or rerun your numbers and see if you're off some. The other thing that tends to happen and where you guys get caught up and I think can lose momentum with small deals or skinny deals, and this is why you don't want to get everything under contract, because you guys get a skinny deal under contract, you think you're going to walk it out to a buyer, you get close on your time. So for instance, you locked it up, you're going to close in 30 days, you've got a buyer negotiating you to the death, the seller is wanting to know what's happening, you haven't done anything for a price drop, now you're trying to negotiate a price drop last minute, and then your buyer walks, your buyer's not picking up anymore, right? These are all things that happen in the business. But when you're just focused on this one deal, it really can kill your confidence. It really can kill your momentum, especially if you're not used to being in this position and you haven't done a deal yet. So that's not to say that this won't happen even on great deals, but they say in this business, you make your money up front, right? So if you locked it up and it was already skinny and you were hoping that everything worked perfect, you're going to run into some of these problems, right? Because nobody is just a machine. Buyers aren't going to buy on Monday. The deal's not going to close on Tuesday. And it just doesn't happen that way. So some of the fears that I think you guys have are that you're going to find yourself in this position. And you will. But you can avoid that by doing everything right up front. And if it happens to you guys, it's part of the game. Take it head on. Talk to the seller. Be upfront. Be clear. Work on the next deal. So all that to say, look, there are some skinny deals that can work. And scenarios for me where a skinny deal has worked is where I know I have a buyer in the area. And I know as long as the property is at this price, he'll buy it. He doesn't really care about the condition because he has full crew that can work on it. He can close the deal in 7 days because we've done it multiple times. And he's already got the funds at the title company. He's just waiting on me to bring him a contract, right? Things like this where you have everything buttoned up. Yeah, skinny deals can work. But if you're new and you don't have all of those, there's no reason to put yourself in a position for a skinny deal. And skinny deals, honestly, are going to be, margins are low, which, guys, we didn't get in this business to spend a lot of effort on deals. We got into it to make margin. So skinny deals are going to come if the margins are low, the timelines don't make sense, and the numbers don't make sense, and the sellers don't make sense, right? So if you have a seller that even their price is good, but they want the money up front, that's the only way they're going to close, that's not going to work. We got to figure out a way around that, or it's just not going to be a deal for us. If we got a seller who is willing to wait 90 days, but they want market value, then we're either going to have to get it with an agent, figure out some kind of other play, or it's just not going to work. You cannot be afraid to just walk away from a deal. There's so many of them out there. So with that being said, guys, I hope that this video makes sense. I hope that it helps you out some. So the next time you guys are going to come in the group or leave a message or email me or whatever, you're just working on a deal, we need to ask ourselves, is this a skinny deal? Would these numbers work? And I think that you get to a point like myself where you've been doing it a little bit long enough where, like, would I buy this deal, or would I want one of my friends to buy this deal? Or is there a way to really make money on this deal? And if those things are yes, then work that deal. If those things are no, then you might have to walk away. I'm not saying all the time, but you may have to walk away. So that is what I have to say, guys, on skinny deals. Hopefully this video made sense to you. Hopefully it's easily digestible. Hopefully it will help you in the future know, hey, is this a skinny deal? What do I need to check? I need to check the deal math. I need to check, does everything have to be perfect for it to even close? Do I have good buyer and good seller relationships going into it? Do the margins make sense? If those things are starting to align, then it's a good deal. If they're not, then it's probably a skinny deal, guys. Especially another thing that I didn't mention is location, right? If you have margins not working and the location's in bum F nowhere, then this is probably another skinny deal that maybe you don't need to put too much time in. So there's a song out there. Me and Joey used to talk about it, like to talk about it. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. So don't spend too much time on these skinny deals, guys, especially when you're getting started. Look for something with meat on the bones that you can get across the finish line. So if you're looking for more leads, more opportunities, more ways to get deals, I want you to come over here, check out Newleey, click some of the links down below, get started with us, start getting deals ASAP. We just posted something about a gentleman who's been with us for the last few months and has done over $20,000 with Newleey on one of our subscriptions. So if that is something that interests you guys, leave a comment below. We'll get back with you and we'll get you started. Hope you guys enjoy this video on skinny or not skinny. I don't know what to tell you. All right, you guys take care.